You're watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. In a move applauded by pro-life activists, the governor of Texas has signed a trigger bill banning most abortions if the landmark Roe v. Wade judgment were to be overturned. Governor Greg Abbott signed the Human Life Protection Act of 2021 on June the 16th, making it illegal for anyone to perform or attempt an abortion. Violations invite a fine of $100,000. The bill was passed in the State Senate on May the 25th by a vote of 19 to 12. The trigger law would go into effect after any Supreme Court judgment or constitutional amendment allowing states to ban abortion. On the same day, the governor also signed a bill preventing public agencies and officials from ordering the closure of places of worship during disasters. In Edinburg, Texas, Mayor Richard Molina has pledged to make the city a sanctuary city for the unborn. He announced his commitment during the reading of the proclamation of June the 27th as Pro-Life Apostolate Day during the City Council meeting. The mayor said the day set apart for pro-life activities will remind the community of the vital importance of every human life from the womb to the tomb. During the meeting, council members David White and Johnny Garcia and Mayor Pro Tempore Jorge Salinas expressed support for the proclamation. If the pro-life efforts of the City Council bear fruit, Edinburg will join a host of other cities in the state that have become sanctuary cities for the unborn. On June the 7th, the city of Levelland in the same state became the 30th city in the country to outlaw abortion. In the US state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis signed two bills on Tuesday the 22nd of June, expanding civics education by including lessons on the evils of totalitarian governments. The new law mandates the development of a K-12 civics curriculum that includes personal accounts of civic-mindedness. The lessons will comprise personal stories of people who escaped from tyranny and oppression in communist nations as well as countries with other totalitarian governments. Henceforth, state university students have to pass a civic literacy assessment exam and take a course on civic literacy in order to graduate. DeSantis said it is important that students understand why people risk their lives to leave countries like Vietnam and Cuba and come to the United States. The governor also signed a third bill protecting free speech at state-run universities. Reaching out to the elderly, the Holy Father Pope Francis has said that the Church loves and cares about them. In his message to grandparents on Tuesday, June the 22nd, the pontiff reminded them that there is no retirement age for proclaiming the gospel. Ahead of the first World Day for Grandparents, which will be observed on July the 25th, the Pope referred to his own advanced age and quoted the example of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI, who continues to pray for the Church. His Holiness urged grandparents to pray with the Psalms and to read a page of the Gospel daily. Meanwhile, as part of the World Day for Grandparents, the Vatican has granted a plenary indulgence to those who visit the elderly or the sick on July the 25th or take part in a related spiritual event. For the first time, the Holy See has invoked its sovereign status under the 1929 Lateran Pact with Italy to protest against a draft legislation that combats homophobia. In a diplomatic communiqué sent to the Italian ambassador to the Holy See, the Vatican Foreign Minister Archbishop Paul Gallagher expressed concern that the law could curb religious freedom guaranteed under that accord. If enacted, the law could force Catholic schools to change their curriculum and include state-mandated lessons on gender. There are also concerns that the law could criminalise certain public expressions of church teaching on sexuality and marriage. The Vatican City-State was formed after the Lateran Treaty, and it allows the Holy See to assert its rights to the Italian government. Two Catholic churches in Canada situated on reserves for Indigenous peoples were destroyed in what police say were suspicious fires on Monday, June the 21st. An officer on patrol noticed fire coming from the Sacred Heart Church on the Penticton Indian Ban reserve in British Colombia early in the morning. Flames had engulfed the building by the time the officer arrived on the scene. In less than 2 hours, the St. Gregory's Church located on the Ossoyous Indian Ban reserve was also gutted. Police are suspecting arson and an investigation is underway. Catholic churches in Canada have recently been the targets of vandalism following the discovery of the remains of 215 Indigenous children at the site of the former Kamloops Indian residential school run by the church. Pope Francis has been gifted a unique crucifix made of wood salvaged from the debris of the devastating Beirut blast of August the 4th of last year. Father Pierre Najem, the President General of the Mariamite Maronite Order in Lebanon, presented the Holy Father with the crucifix carved by young artist Mario Curi during a private audience in the Apostolic Palace. The artist said on social media that it took him 9 hours to carve the crucifix, which symbolises resilience, faith and the hope of his people. The pontiff received Father Najem and 3 other priests ahead of the Vatican's Day of Prayer for Lebanon. Pope Francis has invited leaders of the main Christian communities in Lebanon to the Vatican on July the 1st to pray for peace and stability in the nation, which is reeling from a political and economic crisis. The Holy Father has appointed British priest Father Andrew Small as the new Secretary of the Pontifical Commission for the Protection of Minors. He replaces Monsignor Robert Oliver of the Archdiocese of Boston, who served as Secretary of the Commission since its formation 8 years ago. Father Small has worked in Brazil and the United States. From 2004 to 2009, he served as the US Bishop's Policy Advisor for Foreign Economic Development and also oversaw the Church's rebuilding efforts following the 2010 Haiti earthquake. Father Small said he looks forward to helping restore trust in the Church, whose mission is to protect, support and love those who are wounded by the Church's ministers. Pope Francis formed the Commission to strengthen the Church's standards and processes for protecting minors and vulnerable persons. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.